Alabama 56, Middle Tennessee 7. Now that's great that Alabama took care of business, but even more importantly, looks like Nick Saban has more or less made a decision at quarterback for the time being. Jalen Milroe looked good. Has Alabama found their guy? 13 for 18, 194 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, also 2 rushing touchdowns. He looked good. It was Middle Tennessee, but he looked good. Let's talk about this a little bit more. Really quickly though, Alabama fans, make sure you subscribe right here to the On3 YouTube channel. We talk college football every single day. Had a lot of you Bama fans join us recently, so thank you for that. If you have not yet joined the party, jump on in. The water is fine. We're going to pick the game against Texas this coming Tuesday live, 11 a.m. Eastern, also live on Wednesday and Thursday at that exact same time. Follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at JD Pickell so you don't miss a minute of it. Excited to break that one down. Okay, man. Hey, it feels like they found their guy, right? To be simply put, feels like they found their guy. And you can see very evidently the edge he brings with his legs. Like that play where the snap goes by his leg, he picks it up. He just does what special athletes do and scores a touchdown on that. Like, you can't overstate the importance of that on a football game. Now, against Middle Tennessee, that's a touchdown. Against Texas, it goes from at least a negative play to maybe getting back to the line of scrimmage. He's the only quarterback on your roster that presents that opportunity. So I was encouraged that he looked efficient. I was encouraged with how he ran the football. But here's the thing that I think was the most impressive part about Jalen Milroe yesterday. And if I'm an Alabama fan, gives me the most confidence going forward. We have said it a lot. Alabama, the way they run the football is going to command numbers with what defenses have to do to stop the run. They have to put more numbers in the box. And so when that happens, we said whoever plays quarterback for Alabama has to hit the open shot. Jalen Milroe hit the open shot 3 times. I don't care it was Middle Tennessee. When a dude is running wide open downfield, because there will be more open shots downfield for Bama. When he's open downfield, you had better hit him. And Jalen Milroe was money. So him hitting the open shot, if that's going to be what Bama does consistently, that takes Alabama from being a really aggressive and impressive running football team, a one-dimensional football team, to them being a dynamic offense to where if you want to commit extra numbers, if you want to move those safeties into the box, they're going to make you pay. With guys that have speed like an Isaiah Bond, with guys like a Malik Benson. Just go down the line here. They've got a lot of guys that can burn. How they utilize them, how they take advantage of that, goes back to the quarterback position. And Jalen Milroe proved yesterday he can and will be that guy. And oh, by the way, he's a freakish athlete when it comes to running the football. But we already talked about that a little bit. So obviously, what you do against Middle Tennessee and what you do against Texas will probably look different. 1, from a game plan standpoint, but 2, from a degree of difficulty standpoint. I talked about the snap by Jalen Milroe's legs. Probably some things you can do against Middle Tennessee that you probably won't be able to do against Texas, you would imagine. But even so, I think for Jalen Milroe to play the way he did and to see him play as long as he did against Middle Tennessee, because it really wasn't anybody else that came into the game until like fourth quarter, really. I mean, that was when we really saw Jalen Milroe not be in the football game, late third quarter, I suppose. Like, bottom line, he played this game as long as you would expect your starting quarterback who's going to be your guy going forward. It wasn't, hey, let's trade drives. Let's give Tyler Buckner some more time. Let's give Ty Simpson some time in the first half. There was none of that. It was Jalen Milroe, based on what the reps indicated, is the quarterback. Okay? So, what I think this communicates to us is, yes, he played well in the game, but for Jalen Milroe to more or less be decided as the guy for Alabama, that tells us a lot about what's gone on behind closed doors in Tuscaloosa, because we talked to Greg McElroy at SEC Media Days, a former Alabama quarterback, and I thought he made a tremendous point. He's like, hey, listen, man, you turn the ball over the way Jalen Milroe turned the ball over, you're in the doghouse. Because Jalen Milroe, make no mistake, last season, based on how he played against Texas A&M, in the doghouse, okay? There was some trust that he had to earn back. And so for him to be the guy against Middle Tennessee tells me that that wasn't the first time he's performed that way. That wasn't the first time he's played essentially mistake-free football. He's done that against Alabama in practice consistently enough for Nick Saban to say, okay, here are the keys. You're our guy. Let's roll. We're going to go as you go. So he must have really put on an impressive sample size during fall camp to win back the trust, because he started in a negative, in my opinion. Whether that's true or not, I guess we'll never know. But I think with the way that he performed the season ago, like I said, there wasn't like a ton of goodwill baked in, you would imagine, with how much he turned the football over. Now, that's not to say that he was ever like third on the depth chart or wasn't going to have a real chance to win the starting job, but I think, to put it simply, he had to prove that he can be consistent and that he can keep from making the big mistake more than the other guys, and probably even more so to be able to end up being the guy now. So I don't think Nick Saban would play someone who's going to limit the passing attack. Jalen Milroe did nothing to inspire that thought yesterday. And I am just so excited to see what his poise now is against a team like Texas. Because it's one thing to do it during fall camp, one thing to do it against Middle Tennessee. It is a whole other thing to have College game day there, to have the eyes of the country on you, to have everybody and their mama tuned in to Bama, Texas, under the lights, and for you to go out and execute and perform the way that you need to perform to win that game. So we will learn a lot about Alabama next week. We'll learn a lot about Jalen Milroe next week, because it's one thing to have the physical ability. It's another to have that championship medal to you. When the bright lights are on you, when the stakes are the highest, when the heat is turned up the most on you from a competitive pressure standpoint, and to still deliver, if he's able to do that, I think we have to really take him seriously as a dynamic threat for Alabama, and how dynamic their offense can be going forward with the game against Texas. We don't overreact, we don't overproject, but to have a sample size like that in that kind of spot makes Bama even more dangerous than we already believe they are. And if you watch this show, you know we think very highly of the Crimson Tide this year. And Jalen Milroe being the guy, feels like they got a direction now. Cannot wait to watch it. Make sure you're subscribed right here to the On3 YouTube channel. Live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern. Again, come right back here on Tuesday at 11 a.m. and we're going to give a winner for the Texas-Alabama game. All right? We appreciate y'all, man. We love y'all. We're going to keep this party rolling, and we will see y'all next time. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.